So a couple of things have happened this week. Grok 4.5 released, Muse Spark 1.1 released, GPT 5.6 released. I think a lot of people are missing one of the biggest implications of what lower cost per task means for businesses wanting to adopt AI. And in today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I think about this. My own extensive testing of AI models has shown me that a lot of tasks can be done by cheaper models just as well, if not better, than the most expensive models on the market. I think what this is a play on customer psychology. People think when they pay more, they're getting something of better quality, and that we're absolutely at the most complex problem level is what's happening with these AI models. If you want to do some really complex, advanced math or physics thing, 100% use the top premium model. But in your business every day, is that the level of complexity of problems that your team have to solve? I don't think so. And in a lot of businesses, the way that their business runs, it's already documented. They already have operating procedures. Your team already know what works and what doesn't. You have the systems, and if you can get them talking better to one another through the help of using AI tools, already that is such a big win from a productivity perspective that you don't actually need to even worry about all of these complex agentic coding things. For some business, where they have whole teams of people still copying and pasting data from one system to another and doing manual reconciliation processes, just basic use of AI to help solve little technology bottlenecks where they come up in the processes that they run every day, that is such an enormous win for them that it's really interesting to me how slow AI adoption has been. And I think part of it is because a lot of people who love the tech, people like me who have been in the corporate world, have the experience around change management, but really like the technology, can sometimes overcomplicate things. And people are forgetting that a lot of people still run their businesses on spreadsheets. Over on social media, on platforms like X, people are pushing the absolute frontier of agentic coding tools like OpenCode and Pi and Grok Build and all of this stuff. But that's not how most businesses operate. Most businesses do not code or develop or do anything of that nature. They log into software that they have, they print things out, they might not even have standard operating procedures for things they do on a repetitive basis. So even thinking about things like automation or how many people do we need is kind of like they're too busy working on the business or in the business to think about these sort of things. And if you think about where all the money that is going to need to come from to pay for all of this, big corporations spending an absolute ton on AI API usage can only pay off a certain amount of data centers. At some point, you need small and medium businesses switching spend that they have on payroll to spend on AI cost. And a lot of them are kind of cheap, and they're not going to do that. They're not going to go from paying someone 100 grand a year to, oh, well, I'll just pay 50 grand a year in API costs to replace that person. Even though it is completely economically rational, that's just not how these people think. And I think one thing which I've realized through conversations I've had writing my Substack newsletter, it's called Getting AI to Work. The link to subscribe is in the description below. And over there, I share playbooks to apply the lessons of change management to AI transformation, plus what I'm thinking about how this AI transformation is playing out across society. So go hit that subscribe link and you can get more of insights like this in your email inbox or on the Substack app. And what I think is starting to happen is more people are realizing that they need to get that return on spend. And the issue is that if you are a small business, if you haven't done every single little thing perfectly from an IT or cybersecurity perspective, there's a little bit of upfront pre-work you probably need to do before you can safely start pushing more and more tasks to an AI agent of your choice. And what this means is that more people are in a position where AI is not going to necessarily solve their problem, but it's going to surface more problems for them to solve. And I've heard stories of this and had conversations about it with people where they get AI to do something like check their security setup, check their data quality, check how their website is performing or their marketing is performing. And, you know, the AI agent gives it pretty decent advice. It tells it, well, you are underperforming, you need to fix this, you need to fix that, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. And they're like, oh my gosh, I thought I could just fix this and connect this system to this system, but now it's telling me I need to fix this and this and this. And it can quickly become overwhelming for some small business owners because they're effectively getting a list of all the things that they didn't know that they needed to know. And that's hard work. So a lot of people start their AI transformation and get some things done, but then find themselves almost paralyzed by the amount of other work that they now need to do. They now need to worry about cybersecurity. They now need to worry about organizing and classifying their customer data more effectively. They now need to know about all of the complexities for how they better track their marketing spend and return on ad spend and all this sort of stuff. So it's super helpful, but AI creates an awful lot of extra work. And if small business owners don't have technical people or they're not technical themselves, that is why there's going to be a need for a lot of AI change people and consultants to help people actually figure out how to get all this stuff done in their business. Because at the same time you're trying to do all of this, you have a culture and a social media algorithm that's telling people that AI is just going to take all their jobs and AI is going to do this. The data centers use all the water. So your people probably hate AI before they've even tested it out properly for themselves to see how it could help them do things. And that's the real sad part about all of this. At the end of the day, AI can actually help us do less boring stuff and focus on the more interesting, creative, problem-solving parts of the work we do. More people should be talking about that. The whole point of reducing work via AI is not about doing nothing, it's about freeing people up so they can spend more time working on more interesting problems, getting away from the boring stuff. Because the boring stuff is what stresses people out, what burns people out. The boring stuff is sometimes complex stuff too, or completely redundant and unnecessary stuff where people think that things need to be done because that's the way they've always been done. And that way of thinking, that mentality, that's one of the things that needs to change and should be changing as part of AI becoming more deeply embedded across society. It's an opportunity for us to rethink how we do absolutely everything in our business. And the only way to start doing that in your business is to experiment, think, and take time to really consider, what do you want your end game to be? How many people do you want? How much work can you safely push to AI agents? Do your people hate AI already? And is that a challenge you need to overcome? I'm going to be talking about more things like this on the channel. So if that's something that interests you, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.